Monday's editions of Shortcut for Your Soul. Good morning and joy. How are you today? Wonderful. Got Master Saint-Germain with me on the call to freedom, which is a really interesting subject. This idea of freedom that everybody's talking about is not what you think it is. There we go. It is time. It is time to really consider what freedom is. Yeah. So when Master Saint-Germain came to say, this is the time for the call to freedom, he wasn't saying that freedom isn't about how much money you have or where you can go or how you can express yourself. He says freedom is a state of your being that is not restricted to one localized perspective of experiencing consciousness, that your consciousness is something that is unique and distinct as something separate from the physical realm exclusively, but able to function through it independently as well. I remember Saint Germain came to me once, a long time ago in person, and the man is a light, an incredible light, and his beard and his hair are as red as it is often portrayed, and his eyes are as piercing blue. It's incredible. So this call to freedom is not something that you answer to the world. It's something you answer for yourself. This call to freedom, the ability to completely and independently know the nature of who you are and your capabilities as a creative intelligence. You're not bound by the body. You're not bound by your mind even. The call to freedom is where you recognize that your mind and body are instruments for you. They're instruments for you. And when you start to recognize that you are the player of the instrument and not the instrument itself, then you can begin to conceptualize and comprehend, know, and utilize that knowledge of what you are as a entity of consciousness and not simply as a form of matter or a collage of thoughts. The nature of your expression is not dependent upon the world of the five physical senses, as many of you have been led to believe that your existence depends upon these physical sensations, that your existence depends upon matter alone. It is actually the other way around, that your physical senses and matter depends on your conscious awareness. For all is consciousness, but not all consciousness is awareness. And it is important you understand this point, that all consciousness is not awareness. Awareness is being able to identify and comprehend the nature that you are an entity that exists and can alter, change, and interact with different realms of energy. For in the process of understanding, energy is the only substance that exists in all of creation on the physical dimensions of being. Energy is the only substance that exists. The consciousness that you are has the capacity to directly interact with alter and change matter and energy. The art and science of mysticism clearly demonstrates and proves this. And the call to freedom is the call to awaken to your understanding that you are conscious awareness, not simply consciousness, but conscious awareness, which from that perspective of your being, you can assert, influence, and change over what you call the experience of being. The nature of the call is that you recognize that there is something that you are that is able to apprehend, comprehend, and utilize what it is that you comprehend and apprehend, that you're able to utilize it in acts of creation and transformation. And the most important element is the transformation. And your call to freedom is the recognition that you are able to transform. You are able to transform thought. You are able to transform emotion. You are able to transform matter. You are able to transform time and space, all to suit the needs of your creative expression, executed consciously and deliberately in the moment, because you cannot be anywhere other than the moment, can you? And so, if you are willing to answer this call, then it is not so much about hearing what I have to say as it is being willing to carry out the expression of your creative intent consciously and deliberately, and not to merely be a subject in an experimental experience of simply believing that you are limited to the realm of matter exclusively. This call is something that only you can answer. And once answered, once the call is answered, you cannot fall back asleep. The moment you make that distinction between your thoughts, your body, your perceptions, the moment you make that distinction, you are answering the call to freedom. For thought and matter are merely implements of a creative endeavor and not the source of your being, but the source of what your being expresses through. In coming to a deeper understanding, of your being, awareness that is conscious, not simply a flesh system or a thought system or an emotional system, that you are the awareness that utilizes these in the act of deliberate, meticulous, and intelligent manifesting, creating. The world in which you find yourself is not a product of unconsciousness. It is not a product of chance or randomness. The world in which you find yourself believing to be yourself is a deliberate and intentional creation. The distinguishing feature for you to recognize is that you are not simply the creation, you are a creator, and that there is something, you may not know what, that if you answer this call to freedom and consider if you are not those thoughts in your mind, if you are not those emotions in your mind, if you are not that body that you are able to direct and manipulate, then who are you, and from whence cometh thou? Where did you come from? What hand fashioned your consciousness that you can perceive and be aware of otherness? in the pursuit of differentiation between that which you perceive and that which you are perceiving, you can begin to step away from subjectivity to the conditions of this world and begin to pursue an objective, conscious understanding of exactly what you are and what you are doing here, and even consider, why would you be doing it? Why would you be doing it? If you come to the conclusion that your body is the sole locus of your identity, you are going to suffer. If you come to the conclusion that the thoughts in your mind are the sole function of who you think you are and what you are, you will be disappointed. If you come to the conclusion that this world is the only place that life thrives, you will be disappointed repeatedly. And for some of you, this can be many, many independent lifetimes on this one small experience of being. To be free, to answer the call to freedom, means you begin to make that discernment between your thoughts. You begin to discern between your body and your emotions. You make a discernment about what you are that is independent of what you think you are being as a body, as a personality. The transmutation of energy is the function and lesson here in this physical dimension. The transmutation of energy is what you are here to understand, but it must be done consciously. To remain subjective to the experiences of the body and thought will keep you repeating the cycles of matter and mind over and over and over again. The call to freedom is answered when you realize, I am not these thoughts. I am not these emotions. I am not this body. I am a creator. I am able to articulate, transform, change matter, time, and space through acts of conscious intention that alters matter, time, and space. Wow. So this call, yes, must be consciously understood as not something that is offered to you, but something that you have as what you are. It is not something that is offered to you. It is something you must recognize that you have, that you are. Recognize that distinction between who and what you are, and the thoughts in your mind, the emotions in that body, and the manipulations of matter that occur with the utilization of both of those thoughts and emotion, and how they alter and change. And you may defer your call to someone else. You may answer someone else's call and end up finding that you are not as free as you can be. For the call must be undertaken as an act of volition on your part, and not something for you to be manipulated or controlled into by anyone or anything else. For there are many that are lost in the deception of who they think they are, many, and everybody is piling into that illusion of believing that the thoughts and emotions and the body are the exclusive points of one's identity, consciousness, and nature of being, and it is not. Yeah, so freedom comes when you realize that you're not that. Yeah. So when you realize your thoughts are not who you are, and your body's not who you are, and your emotions are not who you are, that's when the call to freedom is being heard. When you begin to consider that you're not your thoughts, that you're not your emotions, that you're not your body, that's when you're beginning to answer the call to freedom. And the call to freedom is answered when you begin to utilize thought, emotion, and matter as creative extensions of your being, much the same way as a painter will utilize a brush to put the paint upon a canvas. So too your mind, your emotions, your body, your thoughts serve that function, in that they are simply the brush that you utilize to paint upon the canvas of this material dimension. But you are not the canvas. You are not the brush. You are not the paint. You are the painter. You are the artist. You are the being. Understanding what freedom is comes when you begin to utilize the understanding. Freedom comes as a result of your utilizing this understanding that the brush and the canvas and the paint are instruments that you use. The nature of who you are comes about when you begin to reflect on the nature of, well, then who am I if I am not these thoughts, if I am not these emotions, if I am not this body, then who am I? From that perspective, you can change the brush. That is, you can learn to change your thoughts. You can change the paints by altering emotions. You can change the function of body by altering these as well. In there, you have creative free expression in this dimension. You also afford yourself the opportunity, well, if I am not my thoughts and I am not these emotions, then truly what am I? And there is a very fascinating awareness that comes when you begin to consider what I have just said, that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You have them. In fact, most of your thoughts and most of your emotions are not even yours. They've been given to you. Somebody offered you a call, an idea, information, a belief, and you responded. But I encourage you to be willing to relinquish your attachment to all that you have been taught to believe is true, and consider what would be of greater benefit for you to believe other than what others would tell you. Even I consider what else would be of greater value for you to believe. What else could you think and feel that would ennoble your expression of being while in this physical dimension? You cannot escape the responsibility of being by simply leaving that body or damaging it or harming it. You cannot escape the responsibility of being. It is impossible. You were here for the exclusive purpose of knowing that you are a being. There is no time for you to waste in the level of being that you truly exist at. There is no time to waste. In the realm of this material world, there is. In the realm of this physical world, there is lots of time to waste. But there is no time to waste in the nature of who you are. You must understand that you are able to change thought. You are able to change emotion. you are able to change conditions of matter. Is it not obvious to you in looking at your great cities as they have evolved in the last 110 years since my biological departure from this dimension? Can you not see that matter has changed? And what has changed it? And you would say, oh, men built it. But the men that built it were directed by another force that is called mind and emotion. So there is something that is causative to the realm that you see with your senses. And that which you are perceiving with these senses are not which causes the body to act. It is the awareness, the consciousness that you are, that causes mind and matter and energy to synthesize manifestations of creation. You cannot see this world and observe its changes without recognizing that there's something that is causing what you see. There's something that causes what you see. Something causes it. When you begin to consider that, you begin to move away from subjectivity to the creations of others. You begin to then reflect deeper on what you are as a conscious entity, independent of other entities on this dimension. That you, as what you are, have the capability to do works equal to or greater than what you observe. You have that within you, all of you. But the process of transformation that you see in your physical world is an effect of a causative aspect of another world. The world of matter and the world of mind and the world of spirit are three different worlds that work in unison to create what you see with your senses. But one is causative to the other. Soul, dear soul, what thou art, you are causing thought. And thought is causing matter to respond. It is an act of transformation. Thought and emotion are acts of transformation. When you formulate a conception of this energy you call the violet fire, it is simply this: emotion. Energy is the transmuting flame that alters matter, time, and space in its appearance to your five physical senses. Emotion is the substance that you utilize. It is the transforming substance, the violet fire that alters matter, time, and space as you perceive it through your senses. And when that realization comes to you, that thought and emotion are able to be utilized by you independent of what the world would tell you to think or believe, then you move into the realm of being a transmuter, a creator of conditions in what you call this physical world. There comes a point when you understand what I'm saying that you will not be bound or subjugated to the distractions of others, to their machinations of what they would have you believe or not believe. You become liberated then to formulate or consider ideas outside the scope of what you are told to consider. For there is not just one view of creation, there is a limitless potential views in creation, all of which is available to every one of you. The call to freedom is simple: to become aware that you are a consciousness that is aware, to become aware that you can organize, change, and alter thought, that you can deliberately and intentionally manipulate emotional energy to cause changes in your experiences of time and space. Or you may defer that function to others, which many of you have done. You have deferred your thoughts, and you've deferred control of your thoughts to others, and now you find yourself experiencing what the others would direct you to, and you're saying, I have no control over this. And I would simply say to you, do not lie to yourself in this fashion. You simply surrender to control. Stop surrendering control of your creative power to others. Your thoughts can be your own. Possibilities can be your own. Emotions are something that are not ungovernable. They are energy that you can utilize in your creating process, in your transformation of energy, in the experience that you have in time and space. Your emotion is the violet transmuting flame that orchestrates and organizes conditions of matter very precisely, and that your thought becomes the little engine that directs the emotion to go this way or that way. You understand this? You will find that the moment you awaken to this, then you will have answered the call and freedom will be yours. But to consider possibilities other than the possibilities you've been told to consider, you will be bound to just simply replay the possibilities you've been told to consider. You must choose. You must choose. You call on us for the very thing that you yourself are capable of doing. And we will always answer, because you are not separate from us in that regard. If we get an itch like you, we will scratch it. If we feel a need, we will fulfill it. Understand, we do not see ourselves as separate from that which we are. In this physical dimension, you have the capacity to believe or have the illusion that you are somehow separate from everything else. And this affords you the opportunity to recognize your creative freedoms. But until you recognize your freedom over thought, it will be very difficult for you to recognize your freedom at all. For thought is the foundation upon which the energies of emotion issue forth their expression in the creative medium of what you call time and space. Yes. There are other considerations that I will not address here today, but these three are the most important, that you recognize that your thought is a creative mechanism. Emotion is a creative substance. It is a transformative energy that alters conditions of matter, time, and space. That this physical world is the medium that this substance called emotion and thought cause effects in. And again, you may remain subjective to the thoughts that others have offered you, or you may choose to consider thoughts independent of what you've been told to consider. What is your choice? Your choice will either liberate you or imprison you. There is no middle ground. There is no middle ground in this. You are either free or you are not free. And the choice is yours. Thank you. I think that's all from him today. He says, no, it's not. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to Shortcuts, Call to Freedom. Hello, Allison. Hi, Julius. Hi, Victorious. Hello, Artist. Hello, Emery. Hi, everybody. Question from Julia. Does Saint-Germain have any guidance for me today? He's saying, what need have you of what other than what I have said? If you are able to clearly make that distinction in understanding your creative nature, which is no different than mine, then you would be simply asking, what is it I want to create in my experience of being today? That is the question that I would simply have you consider what is the creative expression in your being. The guidance is very simple. What new thoughts can you consider, and what new emotions will they create, and what new effects will those cause in the conditions of your material world? Consider this. Consider this. Wow. Great question. Thank you, Julia. Moron, can I get a massage from Saint-Germain, please? If you're allowing yourself to feel the energy, he's saying right now, he's transmitting an energy to you right now. Yes, because he says, he's telling me that you did not misspell your message, massage. You're asking to receive energy right now, and he's delivering that to you. So allow yourself to receive that energy. He's saying it will help lift you out of that subjectivity to that emotion. Yes. He's saying remove the cloud from your crown chakra. He's saying you got energy blocking your upper energy center. He's saying he's sending energy to help transmute that. So let yourself experience that, Moran. And welcome. Hello, NJ. Question from NJ. What does the number 9 mean? Yeah, he's saying you're better to talk with Metatron in this regard. But you must understand the nature of what you call numbers is not so much the numbers themselves, but the vibrational nature of that particular number. In the moment of its presentation, there is a vibration, there's a frequency in all things in the moment of experientiation that you must understand. These stimuli from your environment can align you to that which is within yourself, but they can also distract you from that alignment within yourself. In your case, this number 9 is a frequency that sits in the center. He's telling me the pineal gland here in the center, to sit in there, to feel the vibration. He's saying that number 9, if you actually speak the number 9, like speak the number 9 slowly and feel, he's saying feel the vibration go from the throat where you speak it to up. Feel how the number 9, when you say it, how it goes up. The energy goes up. You're trying to bring energy up. Question from Vio. Is Saint-Germain channeled by Jeffrey Hope at Crimson Circle? Thank you. I have spoken through many. Again, you must understand that those who receive my light that are in resonance with it will express it as it is. There are those who will receive my light and will express it as they believe it to be. And there are those who will receive my light and express it in a fashion that serves their own personal need. But please understand that each of you can only receive that which you receive at the level that you are willing to receive it and express it on. But we express through many in this physical dimension that are open to receiving. We encourage you, as we always have, to ensure that if you are going to receive anything from us, then do so from love. Do not let your fear be that vehicle that you receive our light through. Again, you may receive a light that is as beautiful as the sun, but if it goes through a colored glass, then it is changed. So for those of you that are receiving this light, be willing to receive this light from love. Let it be spoken from this vibration of love. But I speak through many, and none are exclusive. Question from Ian. I have found that I already had help from someone beyond the veil for transmutations. Is having help a necessity, or is it that my guide is that good that I acquired it without my awareness? He's saying that, yeah, any one of you that moves into the posturing of considering something other than what you know will liberate yourselves from what you know. The moment you consider ideas or possibilities beyond what you know, you will move beyond what you know, and you will receive a different understanding, a different awareness, a different consciousness. But again, the perspective of receiving must be one that's deliberately and intentionally understood. You must understand what you are receiving. Wonderful. I'm just going to scroll down here. Question from Dion. Does Saint-Germain have a message for me today? Thank you. Yeah. There's work on your, he's saying you need to really work with the flexibility of your spine. He's saying he's saying tell you to really work on the movement of your spine today. He's saying it will allow greater clarity from your higher self into your body. A lot of you don't realize that the body is a dynamic system of energy constructed to serve you, but it must also be maintained by you. This instrument in which you find yourself must be maintained very precisely by you. It will not maintain itself except to a certain limited degree. You, as the resident awareness of that form, have sole responsibility over how it is going to function. This was the covenant that was made when you came into that body, that you would be responsible for it. And to the degree that you are responsible for it, to that degree you are living your life right now. To the degree that you are responsible for that body, to the degree that you're responsible for those thoughts, you are living the experience of that now. And you may change the way in which you are responsible for that body, and you may change the way you are responsible for those thoughts. You may choose to change these things, but you are responsible. You are completely responsible. A question from Adam. Can you ask Pan on what happened with the girl named Anna that I used to talk to? How does she feel about me now? And why exactly did she stop talking to me? What should I do about her now? Again, give me a second here. He's saying to tell you, first of all, stop looking back. Release your doubt. How can you receive that which you seek if you hold on to that which was? You cannot move forward from moving backwards. You can only be now. Yes. It's kind of like he's showing me a picture of having your foot tied to a tree and wanting to go somewhere. You know, you can try to go somewhere, but as long as your foot's tied to the tree, you're not going anywhere. Yeah. Yeah. He's saying way too many of you are doing this, looking back. Yeah. Stop looking back. Stop looking back. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Wow. So this is so I can we restart? Yes. It's very simple. It is not complex. Understand that the call to freedom means that you must awaken, you must be conscious, you must be aware to step outside of the subjugation you have to your thoughts and your body. Yes. The moment you consider more than what you know, you will begin to answer the call to freedom. And freedom, as you understand it, is not whether or not a politician or someone will give you something, a law or a rule that will make you feel a certain way. Your freedom comes with recognizing that through your awareness, you may choose to create and generate ideas and thoughts that in and of themselves will be a creative expression for you. The free consciousness that you are can only be understood through the liberation of what you believe you are, not being lost in what you are told to exist as. You will be free. You will not be free until you answer the call. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not that body. You are an awareness, a being able to articulate changes in this condition that you call the world. You are so much more than you know. I want to thank you for coming out today. I want to let you know too that on Wednesday we've got Guy is going to be talking about rebirthing on Wednesday. So that's Wednesday, 10 a.m. on Shortcuts. Guy is going to be talking about rebirthing, and I'm really excited about that because this whole process of a new earth and new humanity and the Great Awakening are all tied to this concept of rebirthing from her perspective. So I'm looking forward to that. And then on Friday, we got a group that I've never experienced before called the Elders, and they're going to be doing a thing called The Divine is Awake. And they're going to be talking about the reality that the divine is awake. God has not abandoned us. The infinite intelligence, the all-knowing creator, is not somewhere else. It's here and now with us. And I'm really excited about the Elders on Friday, so I hope you'll join us for that. And again, I want to reiterate, for those of you that are aware of our Mediumship program, please, our Mediumship 102 program starts on Saturday. You want to come to this course. You want to learn how to master your thoughts, your mind, and your body. You'll learn how to meditate in this program. In 3 short weeks, you'll understand how to meditate for at least an hour a day. You'll be able to alter and change your thoughts and emotions at will. You'll no longer remain subjective to the fears of the future or the sadness of the past or your suffering. You'll be able to literally relinquish your suffering. Do not waste your precious life fighting your past or a past present or a past future. Liberate yourself. Come to these courses. Join today. My website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Sign up. Come and join us in the Mediumship 102 program. I'll see you there, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Shortcuts Show. I want to say thank you to Master Saint-Germain and Pam for coming by today, and thank you all for your beautiful questions. And every time you ask a question, you offer wisdom and knowledge to others. So don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you haven't been to this channel before, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and we'll see you on Shortcuts on Wednesday. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.